In the headlines, Agriculture Minister says it will cost millions to repair farm roads. And the Jamaica Labour Party mourning a sudden death of sitting councillor Christopher Townsend. In business news, Canadian-Jamaican investor Michael Lee Chin to meet with Specialty Coffee Investment Limited bondholders. We also have a Young Boss feature. Regionally, the Federal Aviation Administration bans flights to Haiti. And in sports, Reggae Boys to face USA at the office in the quarterfinal of the CONCACAF Nations League. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. It's going to cost millions of dollars to repair the farm roads that were damaged during Tropical Storm Raphael. Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Floyd Green gave an update in Parliament this week.
In fact, the estimated cost of road repairs stands at about $382 million, affecting 191 farm roads, which are critical to transporting goods and farms to market.
During the sitting, Member of Parliament for Manchester North Western Michael Phillips urged the government to consider using concrete to rehabilitate farm roads across the island.
Are we going to relook at how it is we construct these farm roads? Because as I said before, we spend more on the back end rehabilitating these farm roads than on the front end in ensuring that we do them right the first time around.
Meanwhile, Minister Green says the ministry has been providing support to farmers since the passage of Hurricane Beryl in July, so those programs will continue.
One of the things that I will say is that all of this is preliminary because we know, Mr. Speaker, the rains continue. And the Meteorological Service has issued an advisory for increased rainfall this week, and as such, we've asked the RADA team to stay out in the field before we outline a comprehensive program of response to see what other damage is caused by these systems that are still out there.
He says the ministry, through the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, has deployed parish teams of agricultural extension officers to provide support on the ground and conduct assessments. They're also on hand to advise on crop care and management.
We've put out some videos around crop care, livestock care, greenhouse care in these rainy times. It's very important that we pass them on to our farmers so our farmers know what best to do faced with these significant rainfall, what is the best way to salvage their crops and to minimize their losses.
The Christiana Tax Office in Manchester is expected to open by the end of the fiscal year 2024-2025. Tax Administration Jamaica's Commissioner General Ainsley Powell says logistics and supply issues have delayed its opening. He says about $441.7 million is earmarked in the 2024-2025 estimates of expenditure to complete construction of the building, which will replace the existing facility. Mr. Powell also disclosed that the Onoto Bay Tax Office in St. Mary will be opened shortly. He gave the update during the agency's 10th anniversary tax forum on Wednesday at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in New Kingston. The TAJ is spearheading the project's execution, which commenced in January 2023. A mobile police station is now located in the community of Gregory Park, St. Catherine. Member of Parliament for St. Catherine East Central, Alando Terrelong, made the disclosure during his contribution to the 2024-2025 State of the Constituency debate in the House of Representatives on Tuesday.
This development represents our government's unwavering commitment to the safety and security of our citizens. It demonstrates a government that listens to the concerns of its peoples, that values their safety as a priority, and that refuses to let fear and violence dictate the course of our future.
Mr. Terrelong also used the opportunity to acknowledge the work of the team of officers assigned to the St. Catherine South Police Division, who were instrumental in getting the mobile police post up and running.
The new post symbolizes a community-centered approach to crime fighting, fostering a culture where police officers work alongside residents, listening, engaging, and building the trust needed to create lasting peace. By empowering both our citizens and law enforcement, we are creating a united front against crime.
Councillor for the Olympic Gardens Division in St. Andrew West Central, Christopher Townsend, is dead. The usually soft-spoken, long-serving councillor died suddenly on Wednesday night from what is believed to be natural causes. In a release on Thursday, Minister of Local Government and Deputy Leader of the governing Jamaica Labour Party, Desmond McKenzie, says the JLP is deeply saddened by the passing of Mr. Townsend. He says, quote, "We are shocked at the news of the death of Councillor Townsend. He had served the people of the Olympic Gardens Division with distinction for a long time and provided critical support to the Member of Parliament and our party leader, Dr. Andrew Holness." End quote. Time now for the Business Report with Denise Williams.
Good day, everyone, and thank you for joining us on the Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, your guide through the latest happenings in the world of business. NCB Financial Group Limited has advised the stock exchange that a connected party sold 9,092,308 NCB Financial Group shares on October 29, 2024. Canadian Jamaican investor Michael Lee Chin plans to meet with Specialty Coffee Investment Limited bondholders over the delayed repayment of the bond. Lee Chin, the major shareholder of Specialty Coffee, said the meeting will provide updates and answer questions from investors directly. Bondholders who in June 2024 rejected Lee Chin's proposed 12-month extension of the bond's maturity date to October 2025. Specialty Coffee initially issued bonds in 2021 to refinance $1.9 billion in debt. Lee Chin's coffee assets include Wallingford Coffee Estate and Mavis Bank Coffee Factory. The latter business was acquired by Specialty Coffee from Jamaica Producers Group and Pan Jamaican Investment Trust in 2016. JP Farms is reporting that its banana farm recovery program, following the devastating impact of Hurricane Beryl, is progressing faster than anticipated. The Category 4 hurricane caused extensive damage to Jamaica's largest banana farm, resulting in a projected revenue loss of approximately $600 million. Since the passage of Hurricane Beryl, JP Farms has also implemented measures to increase the resilience of its farm. These include reinforcing drainage, planting more windbreaks, and replanting shorter varieties of bananas that can better withstand high winds. The farm now reports that it is in the final phases of its recovery program to return to normal operations. This advanced resuscitation effort means that JP Bananas will return to supermarket shelves in late January 2025, about 5 weeks earlier than the original projection. During trading for the period of November 13, 2024, the following companies represent the top 3 most active stocks that investors bought and sold on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. Microfinance firm Dollar Financial Services Limited, with 8,138,291 units, represents 24.66% of the market volume in terms of sales. Medical supply firm Indies Pharma Jamaica Limited, ordinary shares with 5,035,753 units, represents 15.26% of the market volume in terms of sales. Alternative investment firm Cygnus Credit Investments Limited US dollar ordinary shares with 3,503,734 units represents 10.62% of the market volume in terms of sales. Moving from the money moves of investors, executives, and companies on the stock market, we turn to the Forex market. On November 13, 2024, the Bank of Jamaica reported that US $57.18 million was bought from Forex traders, while US $70.91 million was sold to Forex traders. Buying directly from the Bank of Jamaica, foreign currency traders sold the US dollar for $159.54 and bought US dollars for $157.90. The difference between the buy and sell rate was $1.64, which represents a profit for Forex traders for every US dollar traded. Canadian Forex traders earned a trading profit of $3.03 from transactions at the Bank of Jamaica. The Canadian dollar was sold at $115.35 and bought for $112.32. For traders looking at the British pound, they pocketed a profit of $1.75, selling it for $202.12 and buying it for $237. And now for our Young Boss feature.
Hi, my name is Kimoy Harton.
And my name is Dr. Rayleigh Dunkley.
And we are the founders of Practical Creations Limited.
We founded the company on the idea that we'd create products that we never knew we even needed. We are trying to create creative products. We're trying to find creative ways to deal with practical issues that the everyday man deals with. So we want to find novel ways, innovative ways to bring products and offerings to customers that they can utilize in their daily life. So that's where the practical aspect comes together. So when we're workshopping, we're thinking, how can we capture the fact that we want to work for everybody, but also show them that we're not just some mundane company. So Practical Creations was formed.
In addition to that, we ensure we try to take into consideration the environment. So many of our products are natural products, and that is how we incorporate that aspect in all the products that we make. It all started from poof. Well, it wasn't called poof at the time, but it was poof. So in high school, I thought about the product, the anti-back splash product, and I told my mother about it, and she said, make sure when you get older, you make this into a product. And I said, okay, mommy, I'll do it. And every year she'd follow up with me until I reached UA, and I met this Marion, really. And I approached him and I said, hey, guess what? I have this product in mind. He was a chemistry major. And I had this product in mind. Do you think you can do this? And he said, yeah, man, I can do that. Actually, that's literally how he did it. And so he said, we started working and the research and development phase and went through a whole process. And one day we're sitting down and we're just having a conversation about the product. And I said, we think we should make this official. And he said, yes, we can move from this product into other products and incorporate this in everybody's daily life. And we started brainstorming, what are things people have issues with, but they just don't see the need to find a solution for it. And that is where it all started. And we said, okay, guess what, company's office, we start doing up the documents, and in 2021, we became a registered company.
It makes the bathroom going experience a more discreet occasion. So it's a moldable, solid product that you can just drop in the toilet bowl right before use. So you just put it down, never fear, poof is here.
Everybody loves it. There's like, I have a couple co-workers that need this product right now. One person said, you know, my spouse. Ooh, I could have this product right now. So the reception has been very good so far. We have gotten a few reorders, so we're currently making products to send to other clients too, and the word is spreading. So we are looking to expand more, yeah.
Especially people in office spaces, they really gravitate to it, because imagine a shared space. Somebody's doing a natural part of life, but you can't control the scent. So in a shared space, it's probably not ideal. However, a product like this, they really see the need for it, you know. You do your business, nobody has to know. You preserve your dignity and your secrecy, and you enjoy yourself while using it. So people love it. Yeah. Men, women,
children,
they just love it.
Yes, there were fairs where there are doubts. I have to admit, he really had to talk me out of enough of my doubts. Enough of my doubts, man. He had the motivational speaker. So if you're going to be in a partnership, it's good to have someone that is going to be there, like pushing you, and when you fall down, they pick you up, and then when they fall down, you can pick them up, vice versa. But there were many fears, many doubts, but we knew that this is something we wanted. So we pushed it aside and said, guess what, we're going to hit this ground running. They always say, starting a business is not for the faint of heart. And I am very faint of heart. So there has been many occasions I'm just like, whoo, child. And so what really has brought me through is my faith in God. So what I'd say to anyone who would want to jump in the pool of entrepreneurship, I'd say find something that is bigger than yourself and believe in it, because you're going to need that when you're pushing through the hard times and when you're pushing through the doubts, when you're pushing through your fears. We do. For Poof, we intend to come up with new scents, new colors, as well as we are planning to make our product more accessible through putting it in retail stores, as well as approaching hoteliers and other businesses within the tourism industry.
This is a product, as you know, would have been created by Jamaicans in Jamaica for everybody. So we want to ensure that we're everywhere, that at least Jamaicans can experience it firsthand. You can reach out to us on our IG page, practical.creations.limited.
praccreations@gmail.com. So that is praccreations@gmail.com.
For our credit report tip of the day, rebuilding your credit and growing income streams gives you more resilience. And you don't really want to rely on just your employment alone, because that may feel uncertain. So let's consider these strategies to help rebuild and strengthen both income and credit. Our first tip is to pay down high interest debt with low cost financing. As your credit improves, refinance higher interest debt with lower interest personal loans or balance transfers. 2. Leverage your employment stability to access better credit. Many lenders consider your employment, so use it to negotiate better credit terms or refinance options. And with that, we wrap up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams. Appreciate your company. Stay well informed, stay ahead of the curve. Until our next update, take care.
In regional news, All U.S. airlines and other commercial operators have been banned from flying into Haiti for at least 30 days. The Federal Aviation Administration made the announcement on Tuesday.
After 3 commercial jetliners were struck by gunfire on Monday. The FBI said separately it was investigating the incidents and working with law enforcement partners. The FAA issued a notice to Air Mission prohibiting U.S. airlines from operating flights in Haiti's territory and airspace below 10,000 feet for 30 days, citing safety of flight risk associated with ongoing security instability. American Airlines said on Tuesday that it was the 3rd U.S. airline to have a plane struck by a bullet in Haiti. The carrier said American Airlines Flight 819 landed in Miami on Monday from Port-au-Prince, and the post-flight inspection indicated the exterior of the aircraft had been impacted by a bullet. On Monday, a Spirit Airlines flight destined for the Haitian capital was struck by gunfire, forcing it to be diverted to the neighboring Dominican Republic, while a JetBlue Airways flight returning from Port-au-Prince was discovered with bullet damage after arriving in New York.
Tobago says it's making strides to become a digital island. Despite admitting that there's quite a bit of catching up to do, Administrator of the Division of Infrastructure, Quarries and Urban Development, Carl Murray, says it's a priority.
Accepted and has decided to partner with the Ministry of Public Administration in its recent attempts to upgrade its IRIS, its PeopleSoft software, so that in terms of our HR management, and while to Trinidad to a certain extent over the years would have been advancing towards a digital nation, the THA more or less has been more or less subsumed under paper-driven and a continually overburdensome paper-driven type operations. The Chief Secretary mandated that the island move and keep up or even try to surpass its sister counterpart in the drive towards a digital nation.
Minister of Digital Transformation Hassel Backus urged the island to ensure they take all aspects into consideration.
And without meaning to get too granular into the issues of security, issues of communications, there are a number of issues that are embodied inside of it that have to be funded and achieved. Let me not use the word funded. Let me use the word achieved. If you want to get to the point at which you have to get to, the noble endeavor of the website, which will place all this information and all, it has to be updated, it has to be kept up to speed, it has to be validated, it has to be protected. And then, of course, the community that you want to participate in it has to be empowered, embodied, emboldened, and, of course, equipped to be able to utilize it for the purpose for which you have.
They were speaking during a Public Administration and Appropriations Committee meeting in the Parliament on Wednesday.
ExxonMobil Guyana has announced that it has reached 500 million barrels milestone of oil produced off Guyana's shore.
In a statement, the company said the industry-leading pace of development enabled the production milestone less than 5 years after Guyana became an oil-producing nation. ExxonMobil Guyana President Alistair Rutledge said the company's unrivaled success in developing Guyana's oil resources at an industry-leading pace, cost and environmental performance is built on close collaboration with the government as well as its co-venturers, suppliers and contractors. He said ExxonMobil remains committed to Guyana for the long term and looks forward to continue delivering for the country. ExxonMobil Guyana, Hess and Sinuk have committed nearly $55 billion to develop 6 government-sanctioned projects on Guyana's offshore Stabroek Block. According to the company, the first 3 projects, Liza Phase 1, Liza Phase 2, and Payara, are averaging more than 650,000 barrels of oil per day in production. And plans are in place to grow production capacity to more than 1.3 million barrels of oil per day by the end of 2027, when the ExxonMobil Guyana-led consortium anticipates having all 6 projects up and running offshore. The company noted that oil production will generate tens of billions of dollars of revenue and significant economic development for Guyana. Since first production in December of 2019, more than $5.4 billion in oil revenues and royalties have been paid into the Guyana Natural Resource Fund, the company said. It explained that more than 6,000 Guyanese support the Stabroek Block operations, which is nearly 70% of the industry's workforce.
In sports, we kick off with football. The Reggae Boys are set to take on USA Thursday evening at the National Stadium in the quarterfinal of the CONCACAF Nations League. Over the years, Reggae Boys have won just 3 times against the USA. They've drawn 4 and lost 12. Reggae Boys coach Steve McLaren's 4 matches to date have been Nations League games, winning 2 and drawing 2. Today's match begins at 8 p.m. Now onto the pitch with cricket. The latest International Cricket Council rankings is out, and there's movement for West Indian players who had recent outstanding performances. Here's more from Wayne Cunningham.
West Indies captain Shea Hope returned to the top 10 of the ICC Men's One-Day International Batting Rankings. After 18 months, following the regional teams' 2-1 series win over England, Hope rose 2 places for 10th position with 665 points. His Windies teammates Casey Carty and Brandon King, who notched up centuries in the 3rd match, have been rewarded with career best positions of 52nd and 71st places respectively in the batters list. The West Indies men feature prominently in the T20I bowling rankings, with Akil Hussain moving up 1 spot to number 3, while Gudakesh Muti is at 5. In the team ranking for all formats, the regional squad is amongst the top 10. In the longest format, Test, they are 8 out of the world's 12 test-playing nations. Australia are the leaders. 20 nations play one-day internationals, and the West Indies is at 10th on that list, which is headed by India. India is also atop the T20 international list of 20 countries, and the Windies is at 4th. Also making moves due to performances in the current series is England's Jofra Archer, who is poised.
That's it for the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBCJamaica. Thanks for watching.